Good Wednesday morning, everyone. We have some big news out there for the Watchmen update that we need to cover. We got the European nuclear power plant leaking 26,000 gallons of radioactive coolant. But don't worry, it's been contained for now. We have big votes happening on Capitol Hill yesterday and in the next couple days here to avert government shutdown here on Friday. One federal agency just lost half of their workers last night and this morning. We'll tell you which one that is. India just got access to reliable internet, which is going to radically change life there, and getting all those people online on reliable internet is going to change the world as well. Huge cyber attack on Twitter. It wasn't the Indians. It originated from Ukraine. Okay, not cool, Ukraine. Hacking Twitter. Don't do that. Tariff skirmishes that we need to talk about. Changing so rapidly, it's hard to track what's going on. We got updates on milk and eggs. Lots of Watchmen updates to cover. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade. And these are your updates that you guys are sending in. Please do keep them coming in. Make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. Let us know about the managers that you've talked to or the store employees. Any information you have on the supply chain or what's happening particularly at stores or at your workplace, if you're seeing shortages or other problems out there. Appreciate you all. Before we go any further, I do want to mention our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts to get out of stocks and bonds and into gold, silver, and platinum. If you want to find out more, there'll be a link at the end of the video. House of Representatives just passed a clean continuing resolution to avert government shutdown. And if there's anything that is like garlic to vampires for Democrats, it is clean resolutions. They want lots and lots of stuff stuck all over it, right? You got to, every bill that goes through has got to have like a bazillion pork projects on it. But a clean resolution, yikes, that's asking for trouble. They just want to keep the government going for a bit so that Elon Musk and Doge can shut down more of it. Yeah. Well, it's now up to the Senate to pass it since the House of Representatives passed it. Donald Trump is out there now promising that the lone Republican no vote, Massey, will be primaried. As well he should be. One Democrat did cross the aisle to vote for it. It did barely pass, but now it's up to the Senate to approve this, and then there may be some reconciliation. It's complicated, but we'll let the people who are being paid several $100,000 a year and have massive staffs to figure all that out for us. All right, let's move over to Europe, where 26,000 gallons of radioactive coolant leaked from Finland's, let's see if I can pronounce this, Olkiluoto 3 nuclear reactor. It was such a cool name that they decided to actually make 3 reactors. And this is the third. It's the largest plant in Europe, nuclear power plant in Europe. The operator TVO said Monday that they said that the incident posed no safety risk. It is Finland, so, you know, it's not some third world place or something like that. Now, the coolant apparently flowed into containment rooms that people are normally in, but because it was being refueled and refilled, and somebody made a boo-boo. It was due to human error as a hatch to the pool had not been closed properly, and it did burst through and got into sections of the nuclear power plant it should not have, and that was water from the reactor, which is not good, not good. But apparently there was nobody in those compartments at the time, so nobody is injured by this or exposed to dangerous levels of radiation, at least that we're hearing of right now. The watchdogs over there in Europe are all over this and trying to make sure they're going to have to shut down the plant for a while because you can't have that kind of radioactivity in compartments that are not supposed to have it. but apparently not going to leak out into the environment. Department of Education in the United States has advised its 4,400 workers yesterday that it would be closing last evening and all day today due to a security concern. It was just after 5 p.m. Eastern Standard where we learned out about what that security concern was. They announced that they would be laying off approximately half of the Department of Education. 4,400 employees, 2,183 of them are now gone. So now about 500 of them did accept voluntarily to go. There were some offers out there, the deferred program, and then there's another offer out there. About 500, a little over 500 of them did choose to do that, but the other 1,600, 1,700-ish employees have been fired and just found out last night or this morning that they no longer have a job. Now, the Department of Education, once again, doesn't educate anybody. They never have educated anybody. All they do is they send grants down to local schools, and the movement has been that this money should be just going to the states to be dispersed amongst local school districts. And instead of it being used as a tool to push agendas from the federal government and the bureaucracy down on individual schools, it should be just there to help schools, teach math and reading and stuff. Reading, writing, arithmetic. Maybe we should get back to that instead, teaching them how to have interesting story hours in their libraries with dressed up men. Maybe instead we should just teach reading, writing, and arithmetic, because many, many American students can't do those things even when they graduate high school. The fact that you can graduate high school without being able to read is very concerning. All right, big news out there. Starlink has signed a deal with Airtel, and right now you're going, Steve, I don't care, to access the India market. Again, you're probably like, Steve, I don't care. If you're from India, you're like, this is big news. Now, it's big news for me because I'm working over there. But let me put this in context here. 1.4 billion people in India, the most populous country. They passed China. They're the most populous country in the world. And you know when China is going to get Starlink? Never. They're going to never get Starlink. So India, which has approximately twice the population as Europe, will now have access to Starlink. Now, in Europe, they have access to broadband. They have fiber optic cables. In India, infrastructure is just not as reliable. Now, the idea that you can just put up solar panels, a battery pack, and have your own Starlink terminal and have dependable internet anywhere in India now is a really big deal. A lot of people have been blocked from having reliable connection to the internet until now. This is going to be a big boon for Starlink. This is going to be a big boon for the Indian economy, and this many Indians coming on reliable internet throughout India are going to have more and more competition for jobs online. It's going to really open up the world to India, and India is going to open up to the world too. It's a big deal. One of the biggest news items that has come across this desk in quite some time. This is from Lola. Elon Musk confirmed that Twitter, or X, was hit by a massive cyber attack, stating that the attack was executed with a lot of resources and possibly carried out by a coordinated group or a country. They said that they were investigating the origin of the attack, and then later they came back with the origin of the attack. The massive cyber attack against X that caused major outages. Elon Musk stated that the IP addresses originated in Ukraine. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that Ukraine was behind it, but people in Ukraine may have been, or it could have been in Ukraine. Given the spat that's been happening, we have a lot of these people that are upset with the funding and the weapons stopping moving. They can't hit Trump directly, so they're hitting Elon Musk. And is this the CIA friends? Is this government agencies inside the United States spoofing this? Is it Russia spoofing this? I don't know. But I sure hope Ukraine didn't do this, because if he turns off those Starlink terminals to the Ukrainian military, they're over in days. All right. Trump has, he was threatening to double the planned tariff on Canadian steel and aluminum, which is going to be at 25%. He threatened to raise it up to 50% because Canada was trying to put a surcharge, like the reverse of a tariff, on its electricity that is sending to 3 U.S. states. This would have cost American people about $300,000 to $400,000 per day. And so Trump was going to hit them with a much harder steel and aluminum tariff. Canada pulled a France and surrendered and backed down and suspended its 25% surcharge on electricity being exported to the United States. And Trump has suspended the additional 25% tariff on steel and aluminum. So we're back to square one, but with another victory for President Trump, I guess. Okie Girl says, Northwest Oklahoma. I talked to the store owner of a local grocery store here, and I asked him if he was having trouble getting stock. He said that now they have to order double their order, but they're still only receiving half of what they order. Deborah says sugar is really scarce here in local grocery stores, and Walmart has holes here. There has been, it's been going on for months, but normally just pick up 4-pound bags of sugar. Spook Dust, City of Houston, 30-day hiring freeze for the City of Houston. Whereas New York is trying to hire all these federal workers that are getting laid off. It's going to make them so much more efficient. New York will be so very efficient. Cherry says, my daughter went to Sam's Club in central West Virginia and tried to buy a chicken breast. They said they had none because, I mean, obscure things like chicken breast, right? They also told her that they keep getting less and less of all kinds of meat each week. They usually order 800 cases a week, and now they have been getting less than 300 a week now. And we already saw on the Cisco report that chicken is getting to be scarcer and the prices are going up. Availability is going down. Juanita says eggs in our area here in West Virginia are outrageous. Also with the Amish and Mennonite, their egg prices have also gone up. Prices of feed are going up. Makes it hard on everybody. Old Broad says, Southeast Michigan. Last week, eggs were $4.49 a dozen at Aldi. Today, they're $5.49 a dozen. I got a dozen because the dang things won't get any cheaper. If they go up next week, they can stay in the store. Also, I use a over-the-counter overnight eye gel recommended by my ophthalmologist. You guys are trying to stumble me with my words early in the morning, huh? It used to be about $25 for 2 tubes. Yesterday on Amazon, it was $55 for 2 tubes. Tried at CVS this morning, and they don't carry it because they've been having trouble getting it in for about a year. So just a suggestion that if you use any type of eye products, you might want to stock up. If you need anything, friends, it's a good idea to get stocked up on it. BNMC says blue cheese dressing and other creamy salad dressings tend to be mayonnaise based. We talked about that just yesterday. With the egg shortage, many will be in short supply. Well, I mean, if they lock in their suppliers, then they should be able to have a continuous supply. The problem is that they know that if the price goes up on their salad dressing, that they're gonna sell a lot less. So they're loath to do that. They only want to keep pumping out the same amount and the amounts of eggs that they have locked in on contract. All right, Silly Wallaby says, I'm from Farmington, New Mexico, and noticed some things in regard to online ordering. At the beginning of the month, I decided to put items in my cart on the Smith's mobile app. It's a grocery store. I could place the order on the following day. When time came, I noticed that one of the items I put in my cart was no longer available. I decided not to order online because I ended up needing to go to town anyway. While I was physically at our local Smith's store, I decided to check to see if that particular unavailable item was still out. But to my surprise, there were 4 of said items on the shelf. Be aware when you order your groceries online. They got caught doing this before. It's not just availability either. When your phone, if you've given it access to know where you are, when you go to the store, not only does availability change, but guess what? Prices also change. When you're sitting at home, you tend to be looking at higher prices than if you go to the store. Even in your app, the prices will come down. So you don't look at your app and then look at the store shelf and go, gee, why does it cost less here in the store? It costs less in the store because they don't have to deliver it to you. And they know that you're hunting for convenience when you're at home. You're hunting for bargains when you're at the store. So when you're at home ordering online, oftentimes they sneakily raise those prices without you knowing. And you can tell that they're doing that because you can check those prices against what you see actually at the store or even inside the app when you're at the store. All right, Tina says, Northwestern North Carolina, our local newspaper had a front page article this week announcing that property values in our county will be increasing 75 to 80% this year. That's in Northwestern North Carolina. Gee, what happened in Northwestern North Carolina? A certain hurricane, Hurricane Helene. So if you didn't get forced into selling, perhaps the property taxes will force you into selling. Property values go up, of course, real estate taxes go up too. Definitely P says, shortage. Virginia, sign at the Kroger says low milk and eggs. Matrix says, I went to Costco for eggs and there were none in their inventory. Zero, zip, nada. I got there at 10:05 a.m. and there were none. Costco opens at 10 a.m. Right there at opening, no eggs. That's what's looking like more and more. Costco is the main culprit we're hearing out there. Sam's Club a little bit, but Costco is the one where you guys keep saying there's just no eggs there. So if you're looking for eggs, go somewhere else. Aldi is doing pretty good right now. Walmart's doing a fairly good job too. Costco, not so much. All right, friends, please do keep your reports flowing in. Make sure you use that word update. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, there's a link right there on the screen. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.